What's up, Don? Welcome. Welcome back. Good afternoon, Jane. Welcome. All right, back to it. Back to region lock permadeath. Longest run probably in Dark Souls 3. I mean Dark Souls 2. Has to be the longest. Did I level up already? I think I did level up already. I don't remember. G Willigers. G Willigers. Jumpy G Willigers. Welcome back, guys. To region lock, permadeath, all enemies and bosses, Dark Souls 2. Long run. Jumping G Willigers. And of course, as soon as I start working. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. It's usually how it goes, man. As soon as I start working, somebody calls me. Excuse me. Welcome to the stream, Mark. What's up, James? Thank you so much for the pin. I do appreciate it. I'm always getting that. It's always happening to me every time. Welcome to Region Lock, guys. No Man's Wharf edition. Clearing out No Man's Wharf before we move on to Huntsman's Copse. How was your Friday? How's your weekend going? What are you guys up to this weekend? What kind of stuff are you doing? Who are you hanging out with? Watching any new shows? Listening into new music? Starting Brood Tower? Brood Tower is, yeah. Brood Tower is rough. Any games you're excited for coming out on the horizon? There's a couple of games coming out. There's a demo for the first Berserker Kazan. I don't know if you guys have seen that. The trailer for that game, it looks pretty good. I'll probably show it right now in a little bit. If you haven't seen it already. What's up, Otto? Welcome. How you doing, man? Do that after DLC. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do Dark Lurker, technically. The same with like the stuff that's bundled up with the Fragrant Branches. There's no right or wrong way to do that. Either. You just do them when you can, basically. So, Jeremy, welcome. I'm not a fan of these textures in this house. They're kind of shit, honestly. Snow starting tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow noon. Specifically noon? That's fucking weird. Is a cold front moving in finally? Because it's been warm as fuck here. Yesterday I worked UPS. It was like 85 degrees all day. Huge winter storms coming? Okay. What's up, Tyrone? Welcome. Birdseed. Are you on Twitch? No, right now I'm not currently on Twitch. Because they changed the rules on some of the restream crap, so I'm not paying $60 to stream on Twitch. Just putting that out there. You can stream to Rumble, though, but I'm definitely not starting a Rumble account anytime soon, but hell no. Fuck that. Though cold for me, just heat. That sounds like fucking Arizona for you. I'm out there yesterday. We're delivering packages, man. It was 85 degrees, and my dumb ass is wearing a sweater. Got on Twitch recently. I was streaming on Twitch, but I don't really care for Twitch all that much. I never really have. Usually don't read Twitch chat anyways. People do watch on there, I just don't ever respond. It's been odd up there, to say the least. Has it been hot in Michigan too, Davey, or what? $55 here, so weird this time of year. Started to get snow 2 days ago in Michigan. What the hell, boy? That's weird. What's up, Wade? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Kinda started saying see you to Facebook. It's not a problem, Jeremy. Yeah, if you can watch anywhere, the most hopping's probably gonna be TikTok. YouTube it's alright. You get some people watching on YouTube, but it's not too terrible. But of course the most hopping is Facebook, but if you ain't on Facebook, second best I guess is YouTube. Kick, I don't even know why I stream the Kick. Nobody's ever on Kick, so I might just drop kicked altogether, to be honest with you. You know? Or don't hit him at all, it's fine. I appreciate it, Jeremy. While we're doing clearing every enemy and every boss, it would be a gigantic waste to completely use the torch every time, man. So it's better just to do it this way. People do some weird stuff on TikTok, not gonna lie. What's up, Dave? Welcome to the stream, dude. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, but I haven't gotten a call from the UPS today, so I'm not sure if I'm even gonna work UPS today. Hopefully not. It'd be nice to just have a full day of streaming like we used to have. You know? Three years, yeah, Davey. I know, man. It's just literally like I was saying though, like it's okay not to be on Facebook. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Facebook is basically turned its back on streaming somewhat, so. Yeah, it's like 85 degrees. I'm wearing a sweater. We delivered like 170 packages or something yesterday. And then, of course, because I always have the same routine, we're going to close up shop. We're going to close the store. Closing the store always consists of the same thing. You go and you know, pick up all the packages that were dropped off at the store for the day. And I'm not kidding, man. I always have the same ritual closing up the store. I fill up my water right there at that spot or at the end of the day. And I drink a giant thing of water right after, right? Because I drink water all day, but it's just my ritual to drink water right there in that spot. And for some reason, the water machine in the back of the UPS store was not working. And this was a bad thing because usually I always drink the same amount of water every day. I have a routine. There's a way that I drink my water. I don't like to chug it. I just take it in parts. I drink a little bit depending on how I feel. And usually by the time we get to closing shop, I will get a whole container full of water because I want to drink a whole container of water. Since the water thing wasn't working, I couldn't fill up my water container. So I'm on my way home, man, and I'm not kidding, I felt dizzy. I was like, fuck. I don't feel good, you know? So I had to stop at a friend's house to get a glass of orange juice and some water. What I should have done was stopped at the Circle K before we got back to the UPS store. But so I bought a new water jug, which is bigger than my current water jug. So hopefully that helps out. But you been through that? Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just crazy because, like, they give out a lot of water, but I like the special waters, you know, the deionized or whatever. And then I like the ones that have electrolytes, too, you know, so I tend to drink specific types of water, too. And, of course, like, the reason is because that amount of physical manual labor involved in working with UPS is very different than something else. Because literally, like, in a half day, I'll get my 10,000 steps in, for sure. You know what I mean? It's different, like, if you're just, I don't know, working on a yard or, like, hanging drywall or something like that, because you can kind of, like, you kind of can take it at your own pace. When you're running UPS stuff, it's literally a brisk jog for like 8 hours straight, depending on how many packages you have. It could be a 10-hour jog. It could be a 6-hour jog. It just depends on how many packages you have. But yeah, no, yesterday was rough. It was a rough day. And of course, the store was bogged up, and we had like 3 bicycles, a dirt bike, and some 300-pound piece of crap at the end of the day. So it was definitely a rough ass ending to it. No, that's why I saved some room because my driver that yesterday was a guy named Caesar, good fella. He's a pipe hitting motherfucker like me, you know. He's like, hey, you know, we're on the way back to your car. You want to stop and get some water? And I told him, I said, nah, man, I'm leaving some room for the whiskey. And he starts cracking up because he knows I drink that scotch, you know. He's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Starts cracking up. Because he knew when I got home I was gonna be hitting that scotch. You already knew. I was like, yep, you already know, man. Got that 12-year-old scotch waiting for me at home. .5 gallons. I mean, if you live in the desert, you get used to not drinking as much water, but you should still drink a shit ton of water. It depends on who you work with too in the route, Jeremy, because not every route's like that. That's the thing about UPS is that there's a lot of different personalities and depending on where you're working and who you're working with. And most of them are good. I think I've only encountered one individual that I don't like at UPS, and that's pretty much it. Because you've got stuff like next day air, and you've got like stuff that needs to get there by a certain time, and there's like packages that need to get delivered no matter what. And, you know what I mean? So I think it just depends on what the load's like, really. Holiday season ain't no fucking joke, though, man. I'm telling you right now, that shit is crazy. The guy fall off, or what the hell happened to that guy? Alright. What's up, Sammy? Welcome to the stream. Been there for 20, 30 years, yeah. Most of the people I know are OG heads. They've been there at least 20 years. Like a good friend of my family has been working there for 17 years, and he's the one that I kind of got in with a little bit. And a family member of mine's been working there for 15 years. And I usually ride with dudes that are like 15 to 20 years in. When I ride with somebody who's seasonal, it's a little different because their mentality is different. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've only met one person I kind of didn't agree with. Other than that, I've met nothing but nice folks working UPS. That's it. Most of them are real chill, relaxed individuals. They don't really have too many cares. You know what I mean? They're just nice. As long as you work hard and they work hard with you, usually you don't have a problem. But now if you're a lazy piece of shit, on the other hand, that's when you usually have a problem. Nobody likes lazy MFs. Damn! Thank you so much, Corey, for the 3,000, dude. I appreciate it, man. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you.
Splendid deal. Many thanks.
Happy late birthday, Christmas, brother, for me and Sam. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the happy birthday. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Thank you, you and Sammy, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, nobody likes a lazy piece of shit. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean, man. You know what I mean? It just makes it worse. It doesn't matter what happens. Like, you can have your slow days and you can kind of milk it here and there, but you don't want to milk it too much. You know what I mean? Because that becomes problematic for everybody. You know? And then you get, like, lots of people that love to micromanage sometimes. And I'm not talking about UPS people. I'm talking about every walk of life. You know what I mean? You get a lot of people that they've been there for, like, a year or less. You know, it doesn't matter what profession you work in. They think they're basically the captain of the United States. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it. I hate people like that. That's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? That's the main gripe I had with the guy I was talking about. Is that I met this guy. I worked there 2 seasons, whatever, two years technically. This guy was seasonal for 5 years. Doesn't know my background, doesn't know what I do, what I don't know, what I do know. Didn't ask me any questions, didn't introduce himself, and was just straight off the bat an asshole. Didn't ask, you know, hey, what do you know how to do? What do you not know how to do? Just straight up to the point, like, this is what I expect from you. That was how he started the conversation. Didn't introduce himself. You know what I mean? Doesn't know who I work with on the regular. Doesn't know that I know these routes that I was working on. Like, you know what I mean? Dude was just straight up, this is what I expect from you. This is how I want you to get out of the truck. Now, I expect you to deliver 20 packages an hour. I'm going to leave you in those apartment complexes over there. And if you're more than a minute late, I'm going to leave you there, and you're going to have to find your own way home. That's what this dude told me. That's what this guy told me, man. I'm going to leave you in those apartment complexes with these packages. If you're more than a minute late for the meetup, I'm going to drive away and not come pick you up. You're going to have to find a way out. That's what he told me. Straight out. Doesn't know who I am. Doesn't know how long I've been working there. Doesn't know what I know and what I don't know. Straight up. And automatically just rubbed me the wrong way. You know what I mean? Thank you. I love you too, Sammy. Thank you so much, you and Corey, for the donation. I appreciate it very much. Onikage is my favorite FromSoft boss. Onikage. So that's kind of what happened, you know what I mean? Dude's been 5 years seasonal. Think about it. He hasn't been made regular after 5 years. What does that mean? That means nobody likes his ass. You know what I mean? That's what that means. Nobody likes that MF, dude. And then, of course, I talk to my friends that are regulars. They're like, yeah, we don't like that guy. You know? And the whole time I'm on this route, and I do work hard, you know, I'll do the job. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm a pipe hitter, like I said. I'll do it. I'll get down on it. People get scared because of how crazy I am, right? But I did this. I worked. I was a pony for this boy. Exactly. I was muling it out for this guy, right? I was a fucking mule for it, basically. Did all the shit. Delivered 200 packages for this asshole, right? The whole time I'm thinking, I don't want to work for this guy. You know? Or you're supposed to work with, not for. You know what I mean? But I don't think this guy got that memo for whatever reason. And like nobody likes this guy. He's one of those dudes I was talking about that's like, well, I've been here for 5 years and not even a regular, you know, like. And then yesterday I got the dispatch for the dispo for the usual route I'm used to running, right? Which I love that route because my bestie, she runs it, you know, 50-year-old woman, my favorite person. Sweetest Hawaiian woman you'll ever meet. She's tough as fuck too, by the way. She's a tough lady, right? She's got like about almost, I did say about 12 years, you know, on it. You know, but this lady's tough. She's in her 50s. She started in her 40s. This woman, she runs the routes and stuff by herself, of course, usually, right? But in the heat of summer in Arizona, it ends up being like 120, 130 degrees in this truck because there's no air conditioning, right? But at the back of that truck, it's got to be at least 160, 170 degrees, like a pizza oven back there, right? So during the heat of summer, she's running this shit. And come to find out, this woman had breast cancer. They had her on the chemical stuff that elevates her freaking body temperature. So this woman's taking these things that elevate her body temperature, and she's running the route with 160 degrees in that oven by herself on a daily basis. And she's the sweetest woman you'll ever meet. Sweetest woman you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? She's tough as fuck. Yeah, she's tough as nails. She's a great lady, though. She's sweet. You're supposed to run by all the enemies and skip the shinies? Yeah, that's fair. What's up, Adam? How you doing, man? And that's why it's funny, because you get a lot of dudes that are like, they can't even keep up with this lady. You know what I mean? And you get a dude like the one I was talking about, Mr. You know, this is what I expect from you. It's like, there's no reason for your attitude, man. Like, for real. This lady's rougher than this dude could ever be. Ever. And she's in her 50s. This guy's probably in his mid-30s. You know what I mean? And she ain't got no attitude like that. She's a sweetie pie. You know? So, like, I was thinking in my head, because we started making that joke, me and my driver, yesterday. So he kept saying, this is what I expect from you. I had to tell him, go fuck yourself. And then I was like, you know, when he said that, I was like, holy shit. It's Jason Bourne. And he starts cracking up. Yeah, no, Arizona summer ain't no joke, especially in the back of an uncooled fucking piece of metal box. You know, like that shit is dangerous, bro. You're gonna die back there, you know. That's why 85 degrees was like 120 in that mother clucker. And I was wearing a fucking sweater like an idiot. If you guys are just tuning in, this is region locked permadeath, all areas, bosses, and enemies, including DLC, without dying. If I die at any point in this after 12 cycles, doesn't matter which area I'm in, I must delete the save file and start from the beginning. This is a permadeath run, which means permanent death, basically. From the beginning all the way to the end of the run. All areas region locked, which means I can only access each region by the region's progression. I can only get upgrades for my character based on each region we're in. And we started all the way since Things Betwixt. And this is my 4th attempt at the run, and it is long and it is painful. So we must kill every enemy in the area 12 times before we fight the main boss. so that they no longer spawn in. And this goes for every area in the game, including DLC. So, if you're wondering what this run is, that's what it is. Da 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 dee 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 dee. But yeah, like I was saying, man, it ain't no joke, you know. 12 rounds, is that something that happens in game naturally? No, this is on PlayStation 5. It's an inherent, believe it or not, it's a mechanic of Dark Souls 2 only. So this isn't modded or hacked or anything. And you can only wipe one square of paper on an extra challenge. Why use paper at all, man? Just use a rock or your fingers. Sprinkle some fucking, some Johnny Walker Black on your hand and just, you know, start wiping. Hopefully you don't have hemorrhoids there, John. What's up, Ton? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Rock still whenever he's got it. I've been sick for a long time, man. I've been sick for 2 months, Tom. I haven't gotten better. I feel better today than I have felt in a long time, though. So maybe I am getting better finally. But you also gotta understand, dude. On a daily, I'm usually in a truck with the doors open on dirt roads. So I'm eating and smoking and drinking nothing but dirt for fucking 10 hours straight. So. If my voice sounds a little rough, it's because of that. UPS. Alright, I'll be running. Hopefully they don't call me today. I can actually run a full area without stopping would be nice. So I really want to get to Huntsman's Copse. The prostate service. It's actually parcel, okay? USPS is if you're asking for prostates. United States Prostate Service. That's what that is. United States Prostate Service. At least it ain't Amazon. That's all I gotta tell you. I'm gonna check my phone real quick just to make sure. Oh yeah. Watch, they're gonna call me in about an hour. I guarantee it. Hey, wait a minute. Don't you wanna? Let's count right now. I have no idea. I haven't been counting. I should be, but I haven't been. When it starts to hurt is when we start counting, okay? Remember that. What is this guy doing in here like that? Look at that. He's never just chilling in there like that. That's weird. The back step though. Thanks, man. So fancy with your little footwork. You know, it's funny. We were reminiscing yesterday about the era before the internet. Remember that? Like being on the street, talking about like what is it? What's the terminology for when your parents punished you? I can't remember what it's called. Corporal punishment, perennial punishment. What would you call it? Like when you talk shit to your parents, stuff you weren't supposed to say, and they'd slap you. The hell would you call that? Is that corporal punishment? I don't know what you would call that. Discipline, actual parenting. I like that answer. That's a good answer. Now we were talking about the internet, you know, and how it made everybody feel so safe because of anonymity, you know. But like back in the day, like I was saying, like in the back in the day buffet, and I'm talking 20 years ago, before this, right? At least. Like you couldn't haul off and talk shit to random strangers. It didn't happen. On the internet, it made everybody feel so safe they could talk shit to anybody, right? But in the old days, that shit didn't happen. I wonder why. I wonder why nobody did that. That's what we were talking about yesterday. But I think I saw some meme about like people tracking down people on the internet and smacking them around. And I'm like, dude, talk about assault. You're going to get arrested for that shit. You can't do that. Nobody can do that. You do that, you're gonna get a lot of trouble. Can't do that. It's against the law, man. As much fun as it sounds, it's against the law. It really do be against the law. If you wanted to talk shit, the thing is most dudes didn't talk shit. Like they were just bullshitting or like, you know what I mean? When you had a real problem, it's like Red Foreman used to say, if you're not willing to bare knuckle box a person, you're not really mad. But like everybody's like, they used the wrong word, I'm offended, or they did this, I'm offended. They said this word this way, I'm offended. Oh, you don't agree with my politics, I'm offended. It's like, bro, are you ready to go in the street? Take off your shirt. Get the bare knuckles out. Are you that mad? Are you that mad? No, you're not that mad. Guess what? You ain't mad. You ain't mad, homie. You ain't mad. You ain't ready to catch a case. You ain't mad. You ain't mad if you ain't willing to catch a case. That's all I gotta say. Straight up. John. This is one of the reasons why I don't go on Facebook at all, socially. You know that, right? I think the last like 5 or 6 years of my life specifically have dictated my whole motion to basically absolve Facebook from my social circle somewhat. Because all I do is see, like, I think like the last 3 elections, just people just crying and crying about everything. Just crying the whole fucking time. And then they're always like, I wonder why it's not changing. It's because you're posting on fucking social media instead of picking a person you want to vote for and voting for. Instead of doing the work it takes, y'all love to bitch on the internet. And when somebody doesn't agree with you, what do? Either you ostracize them or you block them when they make too much sense. The best strategy is just not to go on social media, man. That's all I'm going to say right now. That shit is just toxic as fuck. You know, and here I am streaming on Facebook, but still. Yeah, sometimes I post, but I don't really surf. Yeah, you're right. I like looking at pictures of Maggie, though. Keep those coming. Bearer of the Curse mod, I'm trying. It's very balanced mod. What? So is it DS2 mod? I'll check it out, man. Yeah. There's reasons why older generations say not to talk about politics. Yeah, it's divisive. You get enough of that from the media, dude. You know what I mean? And like I've said before, like the algorithm on social media platforms is all about response. And of course, the best responses you can get are usually angry responses or disgusted responses. So what they do is, since you're part of a political party or whatever political notion you have socially, they try to find a feed that would allow you to be upset. So of course they're gaining, sales revenue based on ad placement because of your reactions, and of course the reactions they're not wholesome ones. You know what I mean? That's how the little monster of the social media works. So that's why it's like you're already feeding the monster. Why would you want to feed it anymore? Just let it die. Just let the monster die. And then it won't be a problem. But it's like that one thing, the button, You walk into a room and some guy's like, Some guy's like, hey, there's this button right here. You see that giant blue button right there? Don't press it. I'm going to leave here in 2 hours. I'll come back in a little bit. Okay, in about 2 hours. Just don't press the button. What happens? You're going to push that fucking button, bro. I don't care who you are. You're going to push that button sometime. They know it. That's how they get you. That's their fucking sales strategy there, man. You know? It's called Bearer of the Curse mod, John. That's what Otto's talking about. He said it's a really balanced mod. And that's kind of why I don't like to no death mods, because a lot of them aren't balanced. And obviously, Otto gathers that. Rage baiting, that's all Facebook is, man. That's all Facebook is. That's what Twitter used to be. I don't go on X, so I don't know shit about it now, but Twitter used to be all rage baiting. All Facebook groups on, you know, like about Souls or any kind of video games, all rage baiting. You know, you got lots of groups on Facebook. And they post shit just to get reactions, basically, because obviously they never got enough hugs as children or whatever, but mommy and daddy didn't love them as much as they wanted them to, you know? So instead of hugs, they go for rage baiting. You know? It's almost the same as being like an OnlyFans person that does it for the sexual attention, you know, as opposed to the money. It's like, why are you on OnlyFans? You trying to be a millionaire? No, I just want dudes to pay attention to my boobies. You know, like, it's like, okay, then what's the fucking point? At least get paid for it, bitch. Shit. You want to be a rage baiter, go work for Facebook, man. Stop being a douche. Then you can get paid to do it, at least. Try to get it. Yeah, that's why I said it's basically the attention factor. Negative attention. Yeah, it's a reinforcement that some people kind of like learn to adopt because they didn't get enough of it in their own life. They call that what's a psychological issue. It's like a borderline personality type thing sometimes, depending on the person. It's just a personality detail, man. Coping mechanism, basically. You know? Some people don't feel adequate, or they feel like they might even be more adequate than they really are. And then they just seek out the attention, you know? And sometimes it ends up being negative attention. Some people are positive attention seekers, and that's good and all, you know, but do you really need attention? I mean, why not just do things because you like doing them, you know? Like, why do you need attention when you're doing them? But then you got the other side of it too, the ones that fucking enable all those people, you know, the ones that respond and can't hold their tongue. And you know what I mean? They're like, oh God, this guy pissed me off so much on the internet. He said this and that, and it's like, did the internet words hurt you? Show me on the teddy bear where the internet conversation hurt your feelings. It's a fucking internet conversation. You're never gonna meet this guy. Why do you care? Dragon Slayer armor is one of my favorite bosses, man. That's a great boss. I've played the older games. They're pretty good, man. Demon Souls a little easy, though. I'm telling you right now. You're going to think it's way too easy, but it's still good. It's just... There's a lot of reasons why the remake is much easier than the original. Yeah, I know I'm a bit radical. I'm sorry if that bothers you, you know. I do think inclusivity is a sham. I'm sorry to say that. I'm trying to be brutally honest with you, but just so you know where I stand here. I think inclusivity is a sham. I do. I really do believe it's a sham, especially when it's corporate inclusivity. I think it's all just a bunch of bullshit, really, but that's my opinion. You know what I mean? What I mean by this is like, well, we can talk about Star Wars, for instance, right? And you can extend this argument to whatever you would imagine. Star Wars, the new series of Star Wars we're talking about, with Finn and Rey and all this crap, right? Of course, you know, Disney tries to pride itself on being inclusive as all hell, right? Because it releases all these really offensive-ass shows sometimes. One I'm not going to mention about Mexican people because soy mexicano, but still. Anyways, they released their Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie for the new trilogy that they had released, right after they bought the rights and all this crap and stuff, and they're all talking about being inclusive and all this crap, and then they're going to release the movie in China, of course, right? So I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, and not all Chinese people are like this, but there's a good portion of the Chinese public that do not like people of color. They don't. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just kind of a fact. It's true. Okay? So what they did was they released it in China, but instead of them putting Finn on the poster to have him in the poster because he's the main character, they decided to delete his ass from the poster so that they could sell more tickets. That's kind of offensive to me, honestly, because it's like, they're like, oh, well, we're inclusive. You know, we're an inclusive company. We're a corporation that believes in bullshit, essentially, right? But that's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by inclusivity being a total fucking farce and bullshit, but... especially corporate inclusivity. And that's a hot take and it's controversial and some people won't like to hear that, but believe it or not, Disney doesn't give a shit about anything. Amazon don't care. They took money for charities during a very poignant time during a specific month, and how much of that actually went to this cause? Like none of it, right? So the internet can be a breeding ground for a bunch of bullshit. They're just selling you bullshit, man. They're selling you frozen water. That's basically it. Frozen tap water. It's not a surprise. A lot of people know that already, of course, but the last one I'm going to throw out there, and believe me, I love this movie, but I find it kind of weirdly offensive. What's up, Justin? Welcome. All right, so this is the last one I'm going to throw out there. We're going to change the subject, but how many of y'all have seen Coco? How many of you guys seen the movie Coco? I love Coco. Great movie. Great soundtrack, great acting. Voice acting's great. Beautiful movie. Pretty, very pretty. Well done. Like I said, I'm Mexican, right? I got family lives in Mexico. I'm Mexican. My whole family's Mexican. We love Coco. Day of the Dead, great. Good festival to celebrate. Culturally, heritage-wise, it's really rich, and there's a lot of history, and all this stuff. And tell me why in Coco is there immigration for dead people? Why? Disney, why did you do this? Why? I love the movie. I'm going to keep watching it. My kid loves it. But the thing that makes me really, really uneasy is the scene where his grandpappy is trying to get back into the world of the living, dressed as Frida Kahlo. That shit is crazy. Is that a commentary on daily life? Is that a joke? Is that some kind of racist? I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that. I really have no clue what the deal was with that story plot device. It's like even after you're dead, you gotta hop the border. You see what I'm saying here? It's kind of weird, man. I'm just gonna put that out there as a really strange mechanic of the movie. It sounds so robotic. It's because of how much I'm casting, bro. It'd be different if I was just like one and done, but it's like we're basically shooting laser beams at this point, dude. Seriously. What's up, Sean? Welcome. Sounds like the intro to a blue band group song. Yeah, no, man. After casting a long periods of time, it just becomes repetitive sounding. It does. It becomes super repetitive. You bought your first house, GG, man. Congratulations, sir. I started watching this cute little show called School Spirits. Have you seen this show? It's a Netflix show about a girl that gets murdered. Like she's trying to find out who a murderer is and stuff, and there's other ghosts in the school as well. You guys ever watch this show? It's actually pretty fun. It's kind of a throwback. It's pretty neat. You're freaking out? Nice, dude. How big of a house and how much did it cost, if you don't mind me asking? GG, dude. That's good stuff. Pink Power Ranger. Damn, boy. That was some old school love right there, dude. Yeah. I know when I was younger, people were obsessed with her, with Topanga. Who else? Who else were they upset? Oh, Winnie Cooper. Weenie Cooper. Yeah, that's right. Weenie Cooper. People are obsessed with that. And then it was, for the girls, it was Devon Sawa. They loved Devon Sawa, man. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You're going further back than that, you're probably going to be like Zach Morris or some shit, but even Mario Lopez was kind of a cute dude, you know, so. Worst part of moving is moving, yeah. I agree with that one, John. Oh, yeah, the girl from Eurotrip. What was her name? I can't remember. And it's right there, too. I know who you're talking about. Sabrina? You talking about Melissa Joan Hart? Why can't I remember her name? It's right there, too. The girl from Eurotrip. Yeah, Harriet the Spy. She was Harriet the Spy, yeah. So who was everybody's heartthrob growing up? So we got Pink Ranger, chat. Y'all are gonna make fun of my heartthrob when I was young. I already know. It's not gonna make any fucking sense, but so we got Pink Ranger. Who else? Jane, who was your heartthrob growing up? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Daisy Duke. Which Daisy Duke, though? There's like 3. Michelle Trachtenberg, that's her name. Yep. That's why I couldn't remember because of the last name. Fucking ridiculous. Topanga. Sean is voting Team Topanga. OG Daisy Duke. Nice, dude. Classy. Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings is a beautiful lady for sure, yeah. You guys will never guess my heartthrob. And mostly because most of y'all are straight men, so you wouldn't have any clue. Kate Beckinsale is beautiful. She aged so well too, man. Like, she's in great shape. She still looks young. Like, even to this day, dude. She's immaculate. She really is. Slater? Nah, fuck no. Hell no. I'm a weirdo, man. My heartthrob doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you right now. You won't get it. No one will get it in chat. I guarantee it. But that's why it's funny to me, because no one will ever understand why. It's Margaret Thatcher. No, I'm just kidding. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, man. She's hot as fuck. Woo! Just kidding. Madam Curie, boy. No, I'm just kidding. She got that radium, boy. Woo! Radium. Making her bones turn to liquid. Okay, so I could give you a hint. He's in Casper. That's what I'm going to give you. He's in Casper. You won't guess which one from Casper, though. I'm telling you right now. You won't guess. Casper, the actual film. From, I think it's like 1992 or some shit like that. Yeah, but that era in television in general was just very poppy, dude. You know what I mean? Like, there was like so much on TV. I remember that whole like feeling of waiting for a Saturday. You know what I mean? Like Saturday morning cartoons. During the weekend, you'd watch Nickelodeon or whatever you were watching, and then you had like Legends of the Hidden Temple. You had Guts. You had Pete and Pete. You had the Rugrats. You had Hey Arnold. You had Doug. You had Ah Real Monsters. You had Rocko's Modern Life. You know, you had the good stuff on the Saturday mornings back in the day. Ninja Turtles Mask. Fucking. If you like My Little Pony was on. You know. Doesn't matter what they had something you liked. You know what I mean? I used to love Inspector Gadget. I don't know who watched Inspector Gadget as a kid, but that show was fucking great. Just the theme song alone was worth watching it for. That's it. You don't even need to watch the rest of the show. Just the theme song for Inspector Gadget. Just set you off for the whole day. You know what I mean? And then you had Disney classics. You had like Tailspin and Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck and I mean, come on, man. You can't beat any of that shit. Batman, the animated series, you know, Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, Mark Hamill voicing the Joker. Some of the best arcs came from that cartoon, comic book arcs. Yeah, Wade got it, dude. Oh, wow, Wade. I love it, man. I love that you got my crush, bro. Yeah, Bill Pullman, yep. Exactly. Yeah, man, those were all good shows. Every single one of them, dude. Fucking great, right? Just a freaking smoothie of greatness there. All right, all these dudes are gone. Mudfire. 6 hours of Rocco. That's badass, dude. Yeah, Bill Pullman was my childhood crush. No shame in that either. Bill Pullman's a very nice dude. But yeah, man, honestly, it's crazy thinking back how like hot cartoons were, man. They were fucking fire back in the day. You know what I mean? Did you? Yeah. Yeah, because most girls would be like Devon Sawa, and he was a cute boy, but it wasn't my type. So yeah, that's the thing about it is that like yeah, cartoons, man, back in the day. And it's funny because supposedly they only filmed like two seasons of Legends of the Hidden Temple, but I swear to God it was like 5 or 6 seasons long, bro. It felt like it. You know, supposedly so many kids got injured playing that shit too. It was dangerous, very dangerous, from what I heard. What's up, Steven? Mark Summers. Mark Summers was great, dude. He was on Unwrapped. You guys ever watch that show Unwrapped? Your chameleon's name is Spunky after Rocko's Modern Life. That's cute. Mark Summers was a cool dude, man. I don't know if he's still around, but there's something soothing about watching Mark Summers, man. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Double Dare, remember Double Dare? That giant eardrum they used to run through. And they got all that goop and guck all over them, dude, from the eardrum. Remember that shit? In Double Dare, they used to do this game, man, where they would take celebrity foods that weren't eaten, and you would eat the celebrity's food, and you'd have to figure out which celebrity it would belong to. There was an episode where this dude had a bag of spaghetti, and he ate the spaghetti, and he had to guess that Arnold Schwarzenegger had been eating the spaghetti. How do you figure that out? How? You can't. You can't figure that out. Yeah, that's the Legends of the Hidden Temple. That's what we're talking about, Wade. Yeah. That's the one that everybody got injured on, supposedly. Like a lot of kids got hurt playing that one, supposedly. Then there was Guts and Global Guts and like all this other shit. Yeah, they had those guys dressed up inside the maze, yeah, at the end. And then my daughter, I showed it to her for the first time because we watch these replays on YouTube. They got these VHS replays, and it's like a whole day of like Nickelodeon Saturday morning. So it's the first time she ever saw Legends of the Hidden Temple. She fell in love with it right away because she's a big fan of Indiana Jones. So. Yeah, I showed her Indiana Jones like about a week ago. I started watching Temple of Doom. It's one of my favorite movies, you know. So I'm sitting there, and my daughter's 5, you know, so I don't usually show her shit like that because people trip out, you know what I mean? That was a violent era. There was a lot more violence on television and shit, of course, right? But I'm sitting there watching Temple of Doom, you know, and dude's like, Kalima, Shakti Day, you know? And like, it's like, Dad, what is he doing? You know, so like he's gonna rip this dude's heart out. She's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, really? He's gonna do that? And I'm like, yep. And then he rips the dude's heart out, you know, and he throws him in the fire, you know. And like the heart catches on fire and shit, and she's tripping out, you know. She's like, what is going on? My daughter's like, she's never seen anything violent ever. You know, my daughter's very sheltered in a lot of ways, which is kind of bad, you know. So she's like, what the hell? You know, she's tripping out on this. And I thought she was going to freak out and run away or some shit. Nah, man. She sat there, watched the rest of the movie with me. She loved it. She adored it, dude. And the whole time she's asking, she's like, what does Dr. Jones do? What does he do for a living? And I'm like, he's an archaeologist. She's like, oh, I want to be an archaeologist, Dad. I want to be like Dr. Jones. And I'm like, I love you, kid. You're the best. You're the best child I could have ever asked for. You know, so we watched Temple of Doom together, and then we watched The Last Crusade together. Then we watched Raiders together. She just sat there the whole fucking time watching it, like nothing. You know, and I'm like, this kid's a trooper, bro. Like for real. So then I show her Legends of the Hidden Temple. You know, so we're watching Legends of the Hidden Temple. And I'm like, so which team's going to win? You know, and she gives me like the Silver Snakes or something, right? Girl was right on the money. They won. You know? And then, like, I think we were watching, like, we were passing through football and stuff, and I can't remember what game was going. She, like, calls out basically what happens. the winning game and the game winner and all that crap. And I'm like, kid, I want to take you to Las Vegas. That kid's lucky as hell, man. I'm surprised. I'm like, damn, I need to get some gaming books just for her. I'm not gonna do it. I wanted to do it, but it's not gonna happen. But still. But yeah, she's obsessed with archaeology now. She's in love with it. She wants to be an archaeologist. But I'm like, you know, you're not gonna chase Nazis through Africa, bro. Like, you do realize that's not gonna happen. You know? I think she has this idea that she's gonna end up like Indiana Jones, you know? Like, no. Tomb Raider, maybe. That's a bit far-fetched, but still. But yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple is basically the kids' version of Indiana Jones, for sure. But then, of course, you have like Pete and like Hey Dude. I don't know if anybody remembers Hey Dude. I loved Hey Dude. I thought that show was funny. I'm just gonna go down there. Fuck it. And I'm not sure if Goosebumps came out before Are You Afraid of the Dark? Didn't Are You Afraid of the Dark come out before Goosebumps? I'm pretty sure it did, right? So I remember watching Are You Afraid of the Dark being like, this is some scary shit when I was a kid. Yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark was great. Yeah, I loved it too, man. Especially with the Halloween stuff that they did during the seasonal stuff. Interested in the supernatural? Yeah, I agree. It wasn't too much though, you know what I mean? They didn't do too much, but they did enough to make it kind of scary, which was good. I like that they did that. That's the thing. I'm so grateful that I got to live through that era, you know, as a kid. Cuz it was a different era, you know, like that. And I'm not saying it's bad now, because it's probably the best it's ever been for kids, really. But growing up in that area, I enjoyed a lot of television, a lot of really good television. And then at the same time, it's like the experience of not being tied to a phone or a mobile network. It just kind of just changes a lot of stuff for when you're growing up. Like not being bogged down by technology. You know what I mean? It's kind of neat. That Living Dead, yeah, that's a pretty rough one to start off on, man. That's Paranoia City. You guys ever seen a movie called The Stuff from the 1980s about yogurt that's actually like a space alien that like infests human bodies? That shit tripped me out as a kid. Yeah, Fallout 4. I didn't know that. Really? Is there a reference to that in Fallout 4? I had no idea. Yeah, I too am Space Yogurt. Yeah, it's funny because the way it starts, it's just a dude. I think they're like in Alaska or like Antarctica or some shit, and they're drilling or something, and that white shit starts coming out of the ground. And boy just puts his fingers to it and sticks it in his mouth. That's how it starts. Some random white substance coming out of the ground. Dude shoves it in his mouth. And he's like, you know what? You didn't taste this. This is good. And they start eating it from the ground. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? Who does that shit? That's how that movie starts. It's ridiculous. Like another movie I really like, but I don't understand too much sometimes though, is like Evil Dead series stuff. Like I love the Evil Dead. That's one of my favorite horror films, if not my favorite horror film, right? But there's a lot I don't understand with why they read the passages from the book. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't make sense to me. Like, dude's talking about, you know, how he brought back the Book of the Dead from Samaria or whatever. And like they decide to read it or play the tape or whatever it is, and the demons come back from, you know, the great beyond or whatever Lovecraftian hell exists. It's just like the plot device there is just kind of weird, kind of a weak, fragile plot device. They recorded it, yeah. But I absolutely adore the Evil Dead series personally. It's just doesn't make any sense logically, you know what I mean? Doesn't make any sense. The one I really got sick of though was the Jason Voorhees movies, Friday the 13th. Like I don't know how many times they could resurrect Jason constantly. Like I kind of really got over that, especially when it got to like Jason Takes Manhattan or whatever the hell it was, and he started being able to talk again, you know, like, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, Army of Darkness is one of the best horror satire movies I've ever seen to this day. I agree. Ash with his fucking like hot one-liners too, man. It's the best. What's up, Sal Walken? There's that scene where that lady's a demon and she's like, I'll swallow your soul. And Ash is like, come on, she-bitch, let's go. And I'm just like, I remember being like 12 years old and I'm just cracking the fuck up. I was like, she-bitch. That scene where he's in the goddamn, in that gutter thing and the old guy throws the the chainsaw down and he jumps up and it just lands on his nub, bro. Like, come on, bro. That shit is funny. I've been sick, dude, for like 2 months, dude. Finally getting over it, though. Finally. Oh yeah, dude. The mirror when he busts it up and they're like trying to poke him with the fork and all that. And he's like, fee, fi, fo, fum. Yeah, that shit was funny. He drinks that teapot, remember, full of like hot liquid. Yeah, I'm getting over it slowly, man. Hopefully, get over it faster. Oh yeah, when the skeletons are slapping him. Yeah, that's a great slapstick comedy scene right there. He walks up there and he's like, Plato, Verata. Okay, I said the words. I brought the book. He goes. And as he's leaving, all this shit starts to fall apart. God, dude, that's a great character, dude. Ash is a great character. You can't redo that. It's classic, dude. That shit is funny. Did you know that was actually the day the Earth stood still? Those lines. It's a reference to the actual Necronomicon, which was published. But the thing is, you gotta understand, Necronomicon's not real. It's not a real thing. It's basically a figment of a few different imaginations coming together. There was, of course, you know, H.P. Lovecraft. He was friends with occultists at the time when they kind of like purposed this book for publishing, and they sell it. You know, they still sell the book. It's not a real Necronomicon. It's just kind of to add to the lore in a way, really. You know what I mean? But the line is in the book, Klaatu Verata Nikto. That's how you say it, right? And like, there's a line in The Day the Earth Stood Still, which is a sci-fi horror about aliens coming down, right? And they say Klaatu Verata Nikto. And that's why it's in Spider-Man as well. I don't know if you guys know this is in the Spider-Man movies by Sam Raimi. It's hidden in a few of them, but you can find it. What's up, Keenan? Welcome. And that's why when Ash goes there, they give him the phrase "Klaatu Verata Nikto" because it is an inside joke, kind of. It has to deal with Toddy Howard, and I know this is a weird reference, but Aleister Crowley had something to do with that, believe it or not. Toddy Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, and Sam Raimi kind of in the same kind of vein there. If you ever notice this too, technically, if you were to draw these comparisons, you could bring Evil Dead into the same universe as Conan the Barbarian. That's another thing that's interesting about it. So if you take all the references like from Toddy Howard books and stuff and like put them all together, and R.A. Salvatore even, right? And you put them together with cinema, and if you put it all together, you got Conan the Barbarian lives in the same universe as Evil Dead, that lives in the same universe as Friday the 13th. It's weird, but if you put all the pieces together, Spider-Man lives in the same universe as Evil Dead. it doesn't make any sense at all. It's funny, it just doesn't make any sense. Which means that Jason Voorhees lives in the universe the same as Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, technically. So you could get some pretty weird, interesting mashups if you think about it. Jason versus Spider-Man would be fucking crazy. Conan versus the Evil Dead would be interesting. It's going good, Keenan. How you doing, man? Could you imagine, though? That would be interesting. What about Jason versus the Evil Dead? Who would win? That shit would be crazy, right? Because technically Jason exists because of the Necronomicon. If you watch Jason, I think it's the one, what is it called? I can't remember. Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah, it's Jason Goes to Hell. If you watch Jason Goes to Hell, the Kandarian dagger's in it, along with the Necronomicon. Which means that Jason could fight the Evil Dead if he wanted to. Which also means that Jason is probably a demon from Evil Dead. And by proxy, if you think about it, technically Freddy Krueger exists in the same universe as Jason. So Evil Dead, Jason, and Freddy Krueger all live and inhabit the same universe. Butter, butter, butter. It's just a weird mix to think about. Jason and Freddy versus the Evil Dead sounds interesting, though. For sure. And then the Buffy universe, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There's a lot of references to Firefly and shit like that too, which is weird. So I don't know, man. You could probably do like a Firefly Buffy crossover if you really wanted to. Cabin in the Woods technically is also in the same universe as Buffy. If you've ever seen the film Cabin in the Woods. Man, this takes so long to do. What are you doing out there, weirdo? Look at this guy. I think we're pretty close to being done here finally. I have to go check the other side just to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. And then we have the boat. After we clear the boat, then we can fight the boss, basically. And then we can move on, finally, to Huntsman's Cops. Which... that's a long investment in itself, though. It's a pain in the ass. Empty. Let's go check this other side real quick. Make sure there was nobody we missed. Yep, that's it. That's all of those people. You just have to clear off the boat. Oh, there's this guy right here. Pay attention to this guy. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, we'll clear off the boat, and we're ready to fight the boss. Alright. So we have the boat left. Then we're out of here. Finally. Finally out of here. Did I buy the ring from him? I don't even remember buying it from him. Yeah, here it is. Almost there, baby. Does anybody know if there's a fragrant branch in Iron Keep? So I can go through the beginning of Things Betwixt and get it over with. You don't 100%. I'd have to look it up. Can't remember. Let me look it up real quick. Because I want to get Things Betwixt that last part over with so I don't have to do it later. Because it doesn't take long either. Let's see. Fragrant Branch. Fragrant Branch of Yore. Things betwixt Majula, Las Bastille, Black Gold, Shaded Ruins, Shaded Ruins, Shaded Ruins, Shrine Romana, Aldia's Keep. No, there's none there at all. Black Gulch, I think there's like 3 though. But I'd want to go through Shaded Ruins before Black Gulch. Yeah, there's a lot in Shaded Ruins though. So yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. In there's 2 in Things Betwixt. Where at? And you're looking at Scholar Edition, right? Usages, okay, never mind. Hold on. Locations is what I'm looking for. No Man's Wharf, Lost Center, Iron Keep. Oh, Mare Gold. Major Old sells them for 75. Yeah, so it's 7,500. You can get one for Major Old. Okay, so we'll use it. We'll go to Things Betwixt. We should be fine. He sells one. So we should be fine. Because there's only one area in Things Betwixt I haven't hit yet. And it's because you needed a fragrant branch for it. So we'll do that before we hit up Huntsman's Cops. So we can just get it over with. It's 4 of those, which isn't even worth it. Yeah, because I forgot if he sold one or not, but it says it on there that he sells one, so hopefully it is the case. I think there may be 2 more, too, somewhere in that area. It'd be cool to get some fire seeds, so I can start getting some pyromancies going, too. You know what I'm saying? Have pyromancy, hex, and sorcery. Kind of have a really broken, busted-ass build would be pretty nice. Like 60-60 at least. Faith and intelligence. Ultimate mage purity, exactly. Because we'll get what's it called? Forbidden Sun, Crystal Soul Spear. I'm gonna farm off Crystal Soul Spear twice. I don't even care. I'll clear that area twice. But imagine that. 6 Crystal Soul Spears and fucking Forbidden Sun, bro. And you know, all the hexes. Jesus, dude. That'd be busted as all hell. We have to change. Yeah, it's gonna be busted all shit, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm willing to do that for Crystal Soul Spear. That's what I was saying before. I'm gonna clear out Seldora, but I'm willing to clear it twice. Just for Crystal Soul Spear, because that's a fucking... That's a good ass spell, Jane. That's a good ass spell. I'll clear it twice just for Crystal Soul Spear. We got your own rules, that's fair. Yeah, because people are like, oh, why don't you just use the bonfire setting? Better farming. It's like, yeah, you could do that, but I'd rather do it in an area where it matters. You know what I mean? Because if you do it where Crystal Soul Spear is, you get a lot of shit there. You get extra upgrade materials for another weapon if you want to get it to plus 10. You know what I mean? It's a better choice than the Rotten because the Rotten won't give you anything, basically. So the Rotten would help if I wanted, you know, Crystal Black, the Black Crypt Sword or something. But ultimately, the Crypt Black Sword compared to the freaking Crystal Soul Spear ain't shit. It ain't worth it either. It's too dark over there. You know what I mean? So I would rather clear out Seldora twice, get some really OP shit. You know what I'm saying? It just makes more sense to me. Finally. Yeah, just the last bonfire area. Yeah, that's it. Because everything up top stays dead. It's just the bottom part that comes back, basically. There we go. Area clear, baby. What's up, Brian? Welcome, man. What also might be worth it too is Mytha twice. Because thanks for the tiny dino, man. I appreciate it. The Mytha twice might be worth it because of the fact that you get the +2 Silver Serpent Ring. So it might be worth it to kill Mytha twice as well. Which sounds like a bit of an annoyance, but in the long run, it's probably worth it more to kill her twice. Because Crystal, the Silver Serpent Ring +2 is way better than +1. Just way better. You know what I mean? Twinkling Titanite, baby. Ooh, baby. Clear Earth and area toy. I know, Jane. I know. It sucks, but it might be worth it. Just saying. She's at the top of the tower, though, so it's not too bad. You know what I mean? Alright. Clear one. 30% more soul. Exactly why it's good to get it. Good, going good, Jeremy. We're just finishing off things betwixt real quick. I'm gonna go get the ladle. It might be worth going for. That's why I was saying that, because eventually you're going to need more souls. Even though you're making a lot of souls doing this the way we're doing it, eventually you're going to hit a point where it's just not going to matter anymore. So it's better to have the upgraded stuff. That and like the Warlock's Mask, you can actually upgrade the Warlock's Mask and use it instead of the top of the set, and it does the same exact thing that this set does. So like if you're looking for a little extra protection, you can upgrade the Warlock's Mask and it doesn't really come to much of a detriment using it. Does that make sense? So you might get it to drop eventually. It's It's a sure thing in. I don't know if you grabbed it, but it is in the Shaded Ruins area. So the Warlock's Mask the same exact thing as the top of this does. Yeah, it does the same thing as this hat does, and it looks cooler, basically. Oh, I forgot that dude was there. Swimmingly is it's a good word to use. A lot of people don't use it anymore. That's more like a turn of the century type terminology. I don't mean last century. I mean the century before that one. 20th century lingo, man, you know? The Hexersuit is good though. But that one in DLC is better, I'm telling you. You know what I'm talking about, that set? That increases like spell duration and spell casting speed and all that shit. That's a better set. Yep, early 1900s, correct. Hoping to get some magic stones or some lightning stones to drop. Well, if you do play Sekiro, don't go into it thinking it's a Souls game. So, my main advice for people that play Sekiro for the first time, if you've played Souls games, go into it thinking it's an action game and you'll have more fun. If you're going to try to play it like a Souls game, you're going to get really pissed off with it. It's not a Souls game. Dark Souls 2 I really love. Sekiro is fun for a while, but it gets boring after a while. The reason why I say this is because the movesets and patterns they remain the same no matter what. And there's no variety of builds. It's a great game, it's a masterpiece as an action game. When it comes, it's not an RPG. So it just depends on how you want to play and what you want to play. Because if you're tired of the RPG element, I'd say play Sekiro. Because it's a good action game. It's definitely a masterpiece. But just don't go in there thinking you're going to Souls hold it, because you can't. It's not a Souls game. That's why a lot of people got frustrated when they first played it. It's like, oh, it's FromSoft. Where's my dodge roll button? But yeah, it doesn't work like that in this game, dude. They're both good, though. There's the thing about it. Dark Souls 2 is great. Sekiro's great. It just depends on what you want to do. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that the reason why people wore Sekiro as a badge of honor for the longest time is because it's the solo game. I didn't notice that for the longest time because I'm so used to playing these games by myself. A lot of people that played Sekiro, it was their first time playing through a FromSoft game without having any help from anybody. And that, now that I understand it, I guess I could understand why people like it so much. Because it's the first time they felt like they were really challenged playing a game. You know, but I've been playing since fucking Nintendo. You know, Famicom or Nintendo Entertainment System, whatever you want to call it. So I'm used to that shit. Like, it doesn't affect me anymore. I mean, look at me now. I'm running the whole entire fucking entirety of Dark Souls 2 alone. Killing every enemy in the game. And every boss without dying. Me playing through Sekiro casually is just not something that I really want to do. And the fact is like I said, basically, when it comes to instruments, if we're talking about, like, you know, musical instruments, Sekiro is like a drum, and you can do a lot with a drum, but it's ultimately just a drum. Dark Souls, you got multiple instruments, you know what I mean? Play different songs if you want. You're a dodge roller? You know Adam that used to come in here, he doesn't come here anymore? He played through Sekiro the first time without parrying. He just learned all the windows, bro. You can play it that way, it's just, I mean... You know what I mean? It's like trying to make a sandwich without your hands, you know? That's basically what you're doing there, but... Sekiro really does try to force you to play the game in the game's mechanics. You can't play it any other way, usually. I mean, you can, but good luck, you know? And that's why a lot of people had a hard time playing it the first time when it came out. Because they're like, oh, we need all this special equipment to do this and do all that. It's like, no, you really don't. It's just, are you willing to make a sandwich with your feet instead of your hands? I mean, it's really up to you. It gives you the butter knife. It gives you the bread, you know? But y'all want to make that sandwich, but you don't want to, you know, you don't want to use your hands to make it. You gave up. Yeah, that's kind of the thing is, like, if the game basically only rewards you for doing a certain kind of style of play, you have to beat the game using that style of play. That's what usually happens. But that's the thing about it. Each video game plays differently. You know what I mean? It's like going into the God of War remake and thinking it's going to play like Dark Souls 2. It's not going to happen because it's not a Dark Souls game. Is it easier? No, it doesn't matter if it's easier or not. It could be harder depending on whatever, you know, choice you made at the beginning of the game. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that you have to be willing to play the game on the game's terms, and if you don't do that, then of course the game will be difficult. You have to learn to adapt to it. And that's why I was saying, because most people that played Sekiro the first time when it first came out, that were crying in the Reddits and, you know, all the message boards and the Facebook groups and all that, after about 2 years, finally they came back and they were like, oh, that game is easy. And it's because they finally started playing the game on the game's terms. You know what I mean? I had the same people come in when I was playing it the first time that were bitching about all the stuff being extremely difficult because they refused to play the game on the game's terms. Yeah, even I did that. I'm guilty of it. I did the same shit. First playthrough, I thought I could dodge roll and do the normal shit, and I was guilty of doing the same exact shit until I decided to let the game play the way it's meant to be played. And then it changed. You know, then I understood what the game was all about. But it didn't become as satisfying for me as the Dark Souls game still. Doesn't mean it's not for some people. Some people really like it. Just, it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? And it, like I said, it only boils down to one thing: build variety and pattern learning. That's pretty much where it comes to. Because, like, this is why I say, like, when I talk about Liza P, for instance, right? Sean played Liza P, right? You like the game, right? There's still variety in it. And it may piss some people off, but I'm going to say Liza P is a better Sekiro game than Sekiro. And the reason why is because there's a whole toolbox to use. There's different types of weapons, different types of parry windows, different types of, you know what I mean, mechanics to learn. So you can play through the game learning all the movesets and patterns, but ultimately you can have a different experience every single time you choose a different weapon. And that's why I say that. But the only reason why that happens is because Liza P is an RPG action. It's not just an action game. Sekiro is an action game. And that's just how it's meant to be played. So easy, yeah. That was the thing about it. I played through Sekiro. I did the no prosthetics run, my first real run through the game. Did no prosthetics. Second run, I did no leveling. So I meant like no physical leveling, no damage leveling. So basically level 1, right? The other options you got, of course, are like prosthetics only, which I don't even know if that's possible. It could be possible. Who knows? And then, of course, you've got like no death, no hit, speed run. That's all that basically that you can pull in it, you know what I mean? Pull out of it. Or those kind of runs. Like, so to me, like I said, it's a drum. It can hold the beat. It's quite good when you learn the beat, but once you've learned the beat, that's it. That's all you need to learn. There's nothing more to it than that. So you can master this one beat over and over again, but ultimately you're still only playing the drum. With Liza P, you'd have to learn how to play the drum, the guitar, the violin. You know, you see what I'm saying here? So that's kind of what changes it up. The bass, you know? And that's kind of what Sekiro was missing for me when I played it. Like, I played through it. I thought it was a great game, great masterpiece. The story, I'm not really a fan of personally, but it's okay. It's kind of like a mix of, like, Journey to the West and some other shit going on in there. But... and it also feels like they kind of copped out story-wise. Like they were talking about, you know, Dragon Rot being a thing and how it'll affect the world, and you know, they gave all these. It kind of reminds me of Elden Ring, where they talk about the stealth abilities in Elden Ring when it was first being released, and how you can, you know, basically go through every dungeon doing stealth and shit, which is a total lie. You only got some legacy dungeons where you can actually sneak through them. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of a little bit of a letdown there as well. But the game ultimately is a masterpiece. It was gonna get DLC. The reason why they didn't give it DLC is because it was published through Activision, which I totally understand, and I'm glad they didn't keep working with Activision. There's a good reason for that, but it's always funny because like, you do get that, like you said, Jane. You get those dudes that are crying the first like 4 or 5 weeks that a game's out about how impossible it is and stuff. And then the same dudes that are crying about how hard the game is, 3 or 4 weeks later, a new guy will come into the, the forum and they'll be like, "Oh, dude, that game is easy, bro. It's so easy." And they disregard the fact that they had such a hard time the first time they played through it. You know? And it's like, yeah, well, first time's always the most difficult. But once you learn any pattern or any enemy placement, I mean, you're pretty much just square, bro. You know what I mean? You're fine after that. Still crying about it? I mean, you know what? At least you're trying. And you ain't lying either. That's the other thing. The other people that do that whole machismo bullshit, you know. The game is hard. It ain't easy. It took me a long time to learn a lot of the shit in it. How to make it work properly and how to, like, create a build that works and, how to fight specific bosses a certain way without getting hit. It's not easy. People only see, like, 1% of the work that goes into a video. So they assume you're just showing off, but what it is you're actually showing the fact that you've spent enough time to study something that you love. Even though it's just, disregarded as a video game, which it is a video game. The amount of dedication it takes to learn something, that is as difficult as a game like Elden Ring, doesn't necessarily warrant respect from other people, but it is a badge of honor somewhat. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't feel bad when I fail a run, and I don't feel bad when I fail a boss fight. Because I know that where I started from, I failed more times than most people have even attempted to do certain things. So to me, it's just part of the course. It's part of the process. And I've learned to trust the process of it. And that's why when somebody asks me if I'm good at the game, I say I haven't gotten good yet, because I haven't. You know what I mean? And I'm not being like an asshole, and I'm not talking shit about myself. What I'm saying is that as long as I keep my cup open, it'll never be filled. There's always something else to learn. The eternal student is the true teacher, you know what I mean, in my opinion. A person who acts like they know everything about everything, or anything at all, they're only fooling themselves. So I'd rather be honest than dishonest in my abilities. And I'm not saying I'm terrible at these games. I'm like I'll be honest with you, I'm one of the top 10 players of Dark Souls in the whole entire world. I'm pretty sure of it. But I refuse to call myself a master of any of this shit. You know what I mean? Because there's so much I still have to learn. The day I stop learning is where the fun goes away from me. You know what I mean? That's when I stop pursuing things. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Yep. It's true. Yeah, man. So when people ask, how many times have you beaten Dark Souls? How many times have you beaten that Dark Souls game? How many times have you done? I don't know how many times, man. But I know I've failed far more many times than most people have even played the game. You know what I mean? That's the thing about it. Like when I look at my Elden Ring time, for instance, right? My first Elden Ring character still exists, Duckman, right? I went through the game the first time, and halfway through it, ate my save file, and I was so pissed off. I was like 60 hours into Elden Ring, right? And it ate my save file, and I was pissed because I was experiencing something new. Nobody wants to go through that. you know, having a great time playing one of your favorite developers' new video game, and then all of a sudden you can't play it because some fucking technical glitch caused problems for you, is a painful experience. But I went and I started a new save file, Duckman 2, of course. Dude, I spent, on that character, I have 999 hours and 95 seconds. Okay? And that was like, I don't know, at least 6 months into Elden Ring, and I was still playing with that character. And that character is currently on a NG plus 172. And I've done at least 10 NG plus 7 no death runs with that character. You know what I mean? And then I play on like 6 different profiles, which I'm pretty sure I have like at least 4,000 hours in Elden Ring at this point, at the least. But it's because of the fact that I don't keep track anymore, because it's not about the amount of time, trophies, whatever. It's because of the enjoyability of it. Like, I keep coming back to them. It doesn't stop me from enjoying the game. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't keep track. It's not something that I pay attention to anymore. I don't need to pay attention to it because I've already experienced so much of it. You know what I mean? But then you, like I said, you get the dudes, the peanut gallery guys in the forums and stuff, and they talk about how they spent 200 hours in Elden Ring and they platinum trophy the game. And there's nothing wrong with platinum trophy the game if that's what you want to do. If that's what your goal is and you enjoy that and that's your thing, then cool. Nothing bad to say about them people whatsoever. I'm glad that you enjoy that. But those are the same dudes. So some of them, not every single one of them, but some of them are the same dudes that talk shit about people just getting into the game. You know what I mean? Try to tell them how to play the game properly according to them and stuff. And it's just like, everybody has a unique experience playing through. You shouldn't try to like push your own impressions on other people that are enjoying something. You should just let them, if they have questions, answer them, of course. Give them advice if they ask for advice. But don't tell them they're doing something wrong, because there's nothing wrong to do. If they end up liking or disliking stuff is based on their own merit and their own time and their own effort and their own entertainment. That's why I don't like people bullying other people within the forum because of it. You know what I mean? It really bothers me. Yeah, have fun on my terms. It's like, bro, really? Did you pay for my video game, bro? You know, like... It's like, unless the dude forked out the $75 it took to buy Elden Ring, he has no right to tell you anything, basically. At least that's my opinion, you know what I mean? It's your money. You paid it. Enjoy your game. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome. It's like I've said before, I've used this analogy, but it's like you're eating Oreos, right? I don't know who eats Oreos, you know, or who likes or dislikes Oreos or whatever, right? But if you're eating Oreos, some people like that dip it in milk, some people like to just open it up and eat the inside, some people just like the outside of it, even, right? Is there a wrong way to eat an Oreo? Not really. It just depends on your discretion, right? But if you open a bag of Oreos and you're chilling with your family, and somebody knocks on your door and walks in your house, and they're like, "Hey, your kids are eating them fucking Oreos wrong, bro. They need to dip it in milk first, because that's not eating Oreos until they're doing that." Is that enjoyable? Can you enjoy your Oreos when somebody's telling you how to eat them? Probably fucking not, bro. They didn't buy your Oreos. They're your Oreos. You see what I'm saying here? So it ends up becoming this thing where, I don't know what it is. Some people just love to control other people. They just love to talk shit too. You know, so that's why I say most people I just ignore them. There's really no point. Those are people that just love to complain for the sake of complaining, really. They're there to have fun. Exactly. You're supposed to have fun playing them. Yeah, exactly. I'll smash some Oreos. Yeah. See, I like Oreos too, man. The thing is, I can't eat them often because they do fuck me up. They're a bit sweet. Like, I can enjoy them, man, but goddamn, bro. After a while, hell no. I can't do it anymore. You know what I mean?
These are together. This oh, say, it drew sooner. No matter the time.
Yeah, I was talking about that yesterday, Jeremy. I was talking about it because, you know, I was saying there's always that one person in the squad that just loves to start shit with people for no reason. And you may be that person I'm talking to on the stream right now. You may know who you are. You're in line at the store. This lady doesn't greet you right away, doesn't say some shit, or even cuts in front of you while you're at the store. And you're like, that bitch has no manners. And just loves to start shit for no reason at all. Just loves to talk, you know, crap for no reason. You know which one I'm talking about? That one person, or that one dude you don't take drinking with, dude, because he loves to fight people while he's drunk. You know what I mean? That one dude you just don't bring anywhere because he's just annoying as hell. That's what that shit reminds me of. Is people like that. So good progress, yeah. What level's the staff at currently? I didn't even look. I think it's level 3. Yeah, level 3. 8 to 16 inches of snow tomorrow. I think I'm ready as I can be. What do you got going on, man? He's talking about grocery. Okay, cool. Yeah, man. Take care, bro. What kills me at the store is while people in public space still don't respect personal space. Some people will get right. Yeah, no, I get it, man. And you have a good reason to be upset about it. But you know what I'm talking about. There's people that even if they don't even get near anybody, will still go fucking start fights with random strangers. And the reason why I say this is because I have an ex like that. Just fucking for no reason. Just starting fights with random ass people. You know, like, just for the hell of it. You know, instead of being like, hey, can you say excuse me? They're like, well, excuse me then, bitch. You know what I'm talking about? That's the difference. There's the difference. Be like, hey, could you just, you know, be a little more polite? Please just, you know, say excuse me next time you get in my way or whatever. You know what I mean? Can we try to be, you know, 6 feet apart or whatever? Instead of being like that, there's that one person that's like, hey, bitch, what you doing in my way? Fuck you. You know, like, that's what I'm talking about, specifically. That kind of person. Yeah, because, like, they act like everything was a personal, like, attack on them. You know what I mean? Like, this person went out of their way just to piss them off on a Friday, you know? And it's like, bro's just, like, cutting in front of you. Like, you didn't even give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Was it rude? Of course it was rude, but you don't give a shit about it. You don't even know who you are. Don't care. You don't care who you are. But they take it like you fucking, I don't know, scuffed up their Nikes or some shit. You know, and it's like, Jesus Christ, bro. And then on the reverse end of that, you got people that do that shit just to cause fights, too. You know, people will cut in front of you just so that they can start shit with you, too. That's the other side of the coin there. Those are the same type of people, dude. Literally the same type of people. Because, like, you know, somebody cuts in front of you and you're like, hey, could you be, like, a little more respectful, say this, or, what did you say to me? How dare you talk to me like that? You know, like, it's like, really, are you fucking serious, dude? We're just at the grocery store, homie. Like, why you tripping? Same shit, dude. Just in reverse. Douche look at exactly what I mean, man. Women and men do it. The other day, where I'm getting picked up for my route, there's a lady in the Walmart parking lot. She's walking with her kid hand in hand and stuff. This kid was nowhere near the car. Okay, granted, I've had this situation happen in reverse. Okay, so I've had people almost hit my kid with the car. Of course I got mad. Why wouldn't you get mad? You're gonna get mad, right? But lady wasn't, okay, so they weren't even near the car. Dude was like starting his engine and stuff to get ready to back up. Didn't see them crawling up. He didn't pull out or nothing. Lady slams on the back of his car and is like, hey, don't you see I'm with a motherfucking kid over here? Don't you see we're trying to get by? He didn't back up or anything, man. He didn't even almost hit him or anything. This lady started tripping out. Talking about how he was trying to run over a kid and shit. And it's like, dude, you're just looking for shit. You're just looking for shit. Why waste your fucking energy, man? Why? Some people are just miserable. Yep, that's the truth. And that's the thing about it. You know, we all got our shit that we got to deal with on a daily basis. Life ain't easy for all of us. You know, some may have it a little more pleasant than others, but it's not the case. You know, not everybody has it perfect or anything like that, but it's like there's enough stress, man. Like, do we need more stress? No, we don't need more stress. But it's funny because a lot of times people like that will expect you to be the bigger person, you know? Like, oh, well, you should just deal with it. I'm the one who's in charge of the situation. It's just like, dude, I just want to get out of here. I just want to get my Safeway sale steaks and leave and go home and cook some dinner for my children. Like, why? Leave me alone. You know, just fucking leave me alone. You're just miserable. Exactly, man. It's a total waste of time, man. Total waste of time. That's always funny. I don't know if you guys ever read any Reddits, but there's a chain of Reddits called Entitled Parents, Entitled Customers, Entitled Beggars. There's a bunch of different ones, but they're funny because that kind of outlines all of that. Like, you kind of see that attitude and everything, right? The Entitled Shoppers one is a good one too. Like, if you work in the food service industry, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, there's that one customer that comes in and argues with everybody just all the time. You know, and their excuses, I've been coming here for 20 years. I've been paying your salary for 20 years. And it's like, dude, I don't even want to work this job, bro. Like, so just give me a break. I mean, you know, like, what? Just because you've been working here, you've been coming here for 20 years doesn't give you the right to treat me like shit. So, and I'm paid to be nice to you, so you can just shut the fuck right up. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold up. Alright, I gotta go to work. What was this, a 5-hour stream? That's pretty good, man. 5 hours is pretty decent. No, it's a 3-hour stream. Not too bad. Not bad at all. So, alright, I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna hit the road. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being so awesome. I'll see you guys soon. You guys have a wonderful weekend if I don't see you at the end of the weekend. I'm gonna try to come back and stream tonight. We'll see how that goes. You guys have a good one.